save the world from the despair.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead. And when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yep.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of proof?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Yep.
Hidden note?
That's right. We
What? In his hand?
Yes.
His pants. I need those pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we could use to escape. This is full of bullshit. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet...
See. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
No duh.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants! It was me.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Yeah.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but I can't let her get to me.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oops. That was my bad.
Shoot!
I did not mean
Huffy
to
had
do
the
it.
note, right?
Broken
Then the
glass.
person it was intended to be Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
What time did it say?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Boom, bitch.
No,
Get out the way.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Where he was murdered.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
Yep.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. telling people they found a way.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his
took it.
pants, no less!
Pervert.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on his...
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece. There's only one...
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yep.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. He was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
No.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely
Well,
dead.
almost. He came back.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
It was John Cena.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Yep.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for... In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Doesn't even look like a walrus.
What are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, of course, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Yeah.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
It's obvious.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed, but if the hammers were already...
So the question is, how personally, I haven't a clue.
Even though I did it.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
That
Those
doesn't
were
matter.
accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible?
I don't think it is possible. They were both...
So then...
Spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Shoot!
What was used to kill? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer...
Well, there's one, how was the culprit able... How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com/...
Well, one thing, the murder
weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No,
But, seriously?
specifically a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, All the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was if the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange the way the graduation rule works, so the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply... Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the, assuming the rule holds true.
No, it's wrong! Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one...
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus...
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking... There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no... However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then...
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
Correct.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime.
Well, but if we know, they would kill him.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing. Instead, each person killed someone. And it only looked like one person because that's how a single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each, by creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply, which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's string?
That's problem numero uno right now!
It was Kyoko. No. It was Yasuhiro, no. It was Chihiro.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
It's not a joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brain-fat, lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
There goes your accent.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further... Shoot!
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the only ones who ever actually saw...
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yep.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual. And not too long after that,
A false shadow. Something is moving around at the top of the stairs. And McGee.
we headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
I already called that.
And when
blood
we'd
curdling.
all come to see what was wrong, what?
Someone ran off.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah. What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Ifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on. We have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Three go this way, three go that way. That way that the alarm would go off and neither of us, nobody would suspect a thing because they both saw the same thing.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, and on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Who the heck said that? Ah!
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange... When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know would... Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Yep.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body...
Yeah? I was feeling kind of sick, so... Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh,
Did
I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was you.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around crying and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with once we were in the hall. We ran into Celeste. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Yaka said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to?
All I said was... They must really be in... Enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be perfect. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I...
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about
Celeste's comment?
Shoot! All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively lit. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. And that is all I...
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
No, what's wrong?
Break. Give me a break.
That's right.
Give me a
There's
break.
no reason Celeste should have said,
Just
like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had died? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have...
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imagination.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious... Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? Yep. So let's put the suit on, and...
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the last I happen to know. In other words, it is simple.
Are we sure that's really a picture of...
What could you possibly...
Surely there are other...
Tiffany and they were dancing. They had been drinking. Hifumi was dragging them away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's... And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me...
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away?
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that because that Robo-Justice suit had a...
You totally can't bend at the waist.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be...
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was...
Well
sounds
then,
so weird.
I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Yasuhiro. You killed me? That's right, I remember the name. Yes, Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Well, let's wonder what your real name is.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Not necessarily.
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more
He
complicated.
did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Irony.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it!
He said everyone's last
That's right.
names.
Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Right. No, not indecent, you fuck. God damn it.
Don't talk.
Please.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Or does it?
Well, no. Hold on. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
I love how she loses her accent like that. Like she's so mad she forgets to use the accent.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Right now? Yes.
Well, do I?
You don't want the answer.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
The handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that...
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong.
We have all the way to contradict you. We never saw your handbook. What's your real name?
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name. Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure that you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, And that's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
You're basically saying you did it.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please. Just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
Because
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again. And that'll bring everything to an end.
her last name is really Yasuhiro, but what's her first name? Why is that there?
The killer is you!
No.
Before it, Hifumi. The killer is you! First, that someone named the murderous duo. They drugged you. Next, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro when they were done with it. And And then finally, they called Taka and that's where he the murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was the reason Hammer number 4 was used was... So, for these attacks, the first fake incident with it... With these two incidents, he fell... The killer is... you! So, for these the pick... With that the sus we...
No. That's it, right.
While we did that, this was exact... He took him and turned... He let out a scream... Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we left the nurses... He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp. But even... Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it. Use that should cover everything.
Celestia Liedenberg.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Bow, bow, wow.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko Yasuhiro. But glad to hear you finally decided to drop the terrible accent.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
That voice actor.
Interesting.
Hey, Lamau. Woo.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
Yep.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
It's obvious. Bum, bum, bum. You are guilty as charged. Time to die, sadly.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point. But once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme is Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Fumi's ineptitude was beyond my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Fumi with a plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would be happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. my specialty. Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual, how sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
If that's right.
I see.
And you used it to direct Hifumi into the plan you come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It's about what was stolen, and I know who did it. What?
Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I had found a use for the digital camera. I took in you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as it showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka's forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me. He did.
As for me...
Came into my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said that if I did not do what he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would do something. He would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
Completely unforgivable.
Kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Eh?
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean. Taka is going to try to kill you.
Indeed.
And he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How can I? She.
I swear!
I have to save her.
Actually...
Then would you like to join me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what was stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to use that for my flashback. Because logic. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad at twisting. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide a face and the general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's quite accurate. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough for your parents, though. I feel like I would cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Fumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Fumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once ever someone showed up, I told him he'd say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And you really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Fumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Fumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed it, the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So he had planned to come all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what did you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the 10 million yen Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought was to escape. But all along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here. It's called sarcasm.
You little
Obviously,
bitch.
that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. Accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my pullers/bodyguards. And sex slaves. Obviously. I was going to make them dress up like vampires to satisfy my every need. Once I attained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life was my only dream, my only goal. That's what my life is all about. Combine that with my own money, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right out to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been shattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the end, so why should I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how could you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious or deceased, the unconscious. That's why you're not scared.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. I don't fear death. Tell me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it
I
wonderful?
think I would want to come back as Antoine.
Hey,
Antoine. Just be a kid. Well, he's not Rod. Celeste smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. That weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Chills! Chills!
Oh, you all done?
chills!
Okay, then let's get rolling. The Blacken disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got.
It's punishment
time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Well, that's depressing. They didn't shake hands. They're supposed to shake hands. I guess that was cut out of this. For some reason. I can understand why the bath scene was cut out, but that... The burning of the Versailles witch. Versailles. How do you pronounce it again? I don't know. I forget. But burn, bitch, burn. I mean, burn, witch, burn. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. I'm sorry for that joke. You gotta love the executions because they're very well executed. Sorry. We put out the fire, everyone's safe, except for the girl who died. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pay her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone who couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people have to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? Throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So, anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward, so I think it's about time to get out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
See ya! Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's this key Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
But then that means Celeste probably hid in there.
Hey,
I suppose that sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
What?
so...
Come on. What?
Do it if you want.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are going to go together? Does that mean what I think it means? No.
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. That's disgusting. I tried to figure out what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker.
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files, and maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait a while, just a little longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as the incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. You know, Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried. Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't even see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you did that.
Indeed.
It's only natural that you think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I believe in you. You believe in me. Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends. That's why, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can't believe in you. Just a little more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I'd believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct. Correct.
In the boys' bathroom. Blah, blah, blah. You must not leave. A strange sound raining out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain. You're gone. It didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming inside, and will only intensify that much more. Super Saiyan white power. That body. For me, there raged the bell beyond anything humanly possible. No one thing's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I can't stop staring. I got to move or even
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten what I'm holding.
The Next Generation Legend Santal Galactic Hero. End. The end. 7 left. To be continued. Super Robo Justice. 3's the crowd. And that'll be the end of this video for now.